Talking with Jerry.
Hey, don't forget to like and subscribe. Definitely click that like button. If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe so you can keep up with all the content that I'll be uploading. Now, what I'm going to say, some people may not like it. Some people may look at it as controversial, but hey, what's wrong with a little bit of controversy, especially with a topic that you can relate to or you know something about. So yes, I want to talk about what's going on in Miami. This week was spring break, not a real spring break with college students, and that's what I want to talk about. So let's get at it. So in case you haven't heard, this is the time of year when college kids are out before they go back for the rest of the school year to take exams and get out in May. It's spring break. And for the past few years, there's been a large contingent of young people coming down to Miami Beach to party and have fun. There's nothing wrong with that. Even if you're not a college student, maybe to hang out with other college students. But unfortunately, this is not a spring break with college students. This is not where the boys are from the 1960s when I grew up. I wasn't in college, but I remember that movie.
Boys are!
The screen jumps for joy with Glendon Swarthout's inside story of those uproarious Easter vacations.
Gentlemen, the city of Fort Lauderdale is once again under fire from the north. Now, Fort Lauderdale is not the only community to be invaded at this time. In Palm Springs and in Newport, on the beaches of the Mid-Atlantic, the students of America are gathering to celebrate the rites of spring.
Where's the beach? According to this, it's across the street.
Join the fun as the gang tears loose where the boys are. There's plenty of room, all the comforts of home.
Anybody here from Princeton?
Come on, live it up with their laugh sessions, their romantic sessions, and those way out jam
And
sessions.
other movies made about kids on spring break going to different parts of the country, going to the beach, getting drunk, having fun. Like I said, nothing's wrong with that. Unfortunately, in our community, we've had some serious problems with the spring break issue, and it's resulted in Miami with earlier this week there were 2 deaths. I think the media or the police and the city of Miami may be even keeping it quiet that I've heard it may be as many as 4 or 5 deaths. There's been several shootings and incidents, and that's what I briefly want to talk about. So, this is, as I said, something that's been going on for a while. And, these are not per se college students. These are Pookies and Ray Rays, Keishas going down to Miami to party. And they're not spring breakers, they're lawbreakers. And the city has tried to tell them, don't come because you're causing havoc. The city of Miami depends on tourism. And the behavior is not just some of the public behavior that is not acceptable, but blocking the street so cars can't get down. Playing music that is so loud and offensive that regular tourists don't want to be anywhere near the hotels, the beaches, the restaurants, which is hurting business. And the untruth, the unaccepted truth of this, unfortunately, is that, in the Black community currently, we don't have the leadership to speak out about these issues, whether it's because leadership has been decapitated. Of course, we know years ago, Black leadership, we could go back to Malcolm X being assassinated, Dr. King. We could look at, if you go see the movie Judas and the Black Messiah, which is available on cable or order it on Amazon, what happened to Fred Hampton. Seems like every time there was some black male leadership that could address issues like this, we know what this country, what the government did. Now, I'm not putting all of the blame there. We're in a situation where we have young people and a lot of young males growing up without a father in the home. I call it the baby mama drama, the baby mama syndrome, which is, getting worse and worse every year. And then you have situations where even some of the women who want to be boss chicks, who want to be, the black girls rock, they can't show up to get these kids who are not young kids under control. So who's going to do it? Well, I want you to listen to what some black men had to say on a YouTube podcast that I listened to earlier this week. I think you're going to find it interesting. And then I'll come back and I'll make some comments.
It's just a lack of respect, a lack of self-respect, a lack of respect for each other. A lack of respect for what our ancestors have done. And not understanding what's on the line. We are at the point now, black men and black women don't even like each other. You got brothers traveling overseas, passport bros, they getting the hell away. You got 55.48% of black men saying they're not having children. They're not getting married. And we still shooting each other down in the street. Like Wild Wild West. Oftentimes over nothing. T. Sam said the only solution is I see going forward is 10% of us separated from the toxic culture. In the 1960s was the pivotal moment, and now it's too late. Anybody who wants to come in, man, you got to cam up. The link is in the chat room. I see the bullpen filling up. You guys are welcome to come through. I love to hear what you guys have to say. You're going to have to cam up. I need to be able to see you. But, and I ain't going to be here that long talking about this shit. I'm just not. Because we've been talking about it for years. We've been talking about it for years. Haven't we been talking about it for years? What's up, Terrence?
What's up, big brother?
I'm good, brother.
I was there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was there. I was in Miami. I was on that beach.
Yeah, really?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. The shooting happened on like 9th Street, 7th Street. I was over on 11th Street at Mega Pizza. I was there both nights.
Yeah, man. And then it's not just the shootings, it's the crowd and how the crowd acts and just
Perfect.
unruly and disrespectful. And, they got to raise the rates on y'all because y'all go up in them people hotels and y'all want to stay 10, 15 deep in one hotel room. And, you see what I mean?
Yeah, because the hotels are like the cheap hotels are $300. Them sisters down there are paying like $3,000 a piece to come down there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And the only one addressing the problem is you, brother, because the problem is the KK Keishas come down there to honor and worship the Pookies, the Ray Rays, and the Mouskies. And that's the problem. I couldn't count the butt cheeks that I saw. I couldn't count them. They dress naked. Their butt cheeks are out. If they were a size 12, they buy a size 8 bikini. So you're looking at all booty.
It's all up in the crack of their ass.
Yes, sir. And when a thug is thug worship, and whenever a thug drives by and is playing that loud rap crap shit music, kill each other music, they stop whatever they doing, bend over, and start twerking and shaking their booties. Down the whole strip.
Terrence, you're a little older than I am. What would our ancestors think? Those who came before us to sacrifice,
I'm gonna tell you exactly what the ancestors would tell us. Put me back in my damn grave. Because I talked it over with my brothers. The ancestors would say, put me back in my damn grave. I can't stand to see this shit. I can't stomach it. I can't take it. That's what the ancestors would say.
Brother, and another thing, man, it just seems like there's a vein of blacks, these young people, they have very little respect for the ancestors, as if they're not going to be one day. You see what I'm saying? And the same people that they disrespecting the ancestors, like I hear them all the time, I wouldn't do that. Ain't nobody going to hit me upside the head.
So that was very interesting, and you heard commentary from a young man that was at spring break, what he said he saw, and how he felt about it. And as I was saying earlier, these, for the most part, are not real college students. Real college students don't come down to an alleged spring break to shoot people, to start fights. That's not what they do. And the reality is that young people who are, looking for trouble, thugs, people who are looking for a place to go to and act up, who's going to put an end to this? Now, the city of Miami is looking at how they can address this moving forward. I want to play another clip about something you'll see, and maybe I hope the media picks up on. And this is in the city of Detroit, where some black men have decided to step up and take control of some things that are going on in Detroit. Maybe that's what we need in Miami. Let's see what they got to say.
300, the well-known crime-fighting community organization, announced its plans to hunt down the killers of children in the city of Detroit. In the wake of the recent murder of 9-month-old Delrick Miller IV, the group intends to target local hotspots where area gangs hang out.
We're calling on all men to stand up. If you have an ounce of courage in you, if you have an ounce of fearlessness in you, we're asking you to stand up. We're not asking you, we're demanding you to stand up. Because these babies have been killed on our watch. These babies have been abducted on our watch. These babies have been accosted and victimized on our watch. So as men, it's demanded upon us to stand up. Now our question to you is, where are the uncles, the cousins, the fathers, the brothers of these victims, these babies? Where are you at? And what are you doing? Our message to the gangbangers and anybody else that's engaged in a lifestyle that put babies like this and our seniors in jeopardy of their lives. We're telling you, there is no coming together with you. Period. There is no uniting with you. Let it be known from this day forward, you are our enemy. Period. There is no coming together. Period. There is no seminar. There is no workshop. There is no session. There is no sit down to talk about you. We are coming after you, period. Today is the wrong day to be on the wrong side of the law.
Reporting from the Northwest Activity Center on the city's west side, TellUsDetroit.com.
Well, those were some very strong comments. I didn't want to play the whole press conference. But, in wrapping up this little short commentary, I just like to say that real college students, real black excellence, it looks like this in these pictures that you're seeing now. Even though the apparel, the clothing is styles from let's say the 40s and 50s, these styles of clothing that you're seeing here are available thanks to the designer Ralph Lauren at his stores, and it's a collection of clothing for black college students. Now, what's interesting is that black college students of this day, and we're looking at these young people in these different outfits, I'm sure they wanted to go party and have fun, and they did. But this is what black excellence looks like. This is what aspiring to be something and be someone looks like, and what real college students, by the way, want to look like, to carry themselves, as adults in the future to be respected by people, they know what they should look like, and they do look like that. Now, of course, you could modernize the clothing. Students wouldn't per se walk around with these types of outfits, especially, you know, you're going to have fun at a, you know, college get together, or going down to Miami to spring break or somewhere else. But it's showing you really what black excellence should look like. And this is a personal photograph that I want to share. And this is from what we would call the real black Mecca, Harlem back in the day. And in this picture in Harlem, we used to have cotillions where post-high school students, young adults would get together, and guys with girls that they knew, they would go out on this formal date, and it was like a coming out for both men, young men and women. And in this picture, you can see the way these young adults are dressed, the way they carry themselves. And in this, the second row on the left of this picture is my older brother. You can see him there, the way, and all the young men are dressed in tuxedos, very nicely dressed. And in the center, in the very front of this photo, is a very famous Hollywood actor, the first black Hollywood matinee idol, Mr. Billy D. Williams, who is a personal, I would say, friend of mine. His parents were friends with my parents. And you can see in this picture here, he's dead in the center, right in the middle. And even in this photo, he looks like he's a Hollywood leading man, though he was a young man then, before he even went into acting to grow up to be the first black, as I said, matinee idol, long before Denzel Washington, long before any of the black leading actors that we have today. But this is black excellence, and this is what we should aspire to, not what you or we see happening down in Miami Beach. And of course, I wanted to mention this because this story is not being shown all over the country. I don't want to get into why the media is or is not showing it. But as you heard from some of the black men in their commentary, how they felt about it, I'll just say I share those same viewpoints, and it's disgusting. And it's unfortunate that we don't have leadership to speak about this particular issue. So if you don't like it, you think it's controversial, I don't know what to say, but it's unacceptable.